I'm not too sure this was a smart move on my part.
John Martin Antaramian is a lifelong politician who is also Kenosha's longest-serving mayor. After 4 terms from 1992 to 2008, he returned to win the office again in 2016 and won the 2020 election unopposed. He has a deep love for his hometown and big plans to make it shine well into the future. Today on Ktown Connects, we connect with Mayor John Antaramian.
Cue that music. Welcome, everyone, to the Season 2 premiere of the Ktown Connects podcast. We're the hottest Kenosha podcast around. And I'm one of your hosts, Donny, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Jason.
Jason, wow, Season 2, can you believe it?
Yeah,
And we got
crazy.
A whopper of a show.
We had quite a break there between seasons.
Yes.
What, 2 weeks?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice little vacation.
Hey, I got to mention that Dropping Daisies theme song. Holy cow. What a rocker. Still on the charts, Jason.
That's
Do you believe it?
That's amazing. You need a new bit for that.
Yeah, well, it fell to number 2, but it's back up to number 1 during our little break.
What overtook it?
It was another Frank Sinatra song.
Oh, it wasn't the Mariah Carey Christmas song?
No, that one.
You think that would have taken over?
Right, but nope. Well, thank you, Dropping Daisies, for that great theme song.
You know what, Donnie? I got to say something first before we get started here.
Please do.
I know a lot of people are going to be tuning in to the show just to, they want to hear some deep down talk with the mayor, some witch trial kind of thing. We're not going to make any kind of accusatory remarks. We're not going to disrespect them. We're not here for that. If you're here to try and hear that, stop the show right now instead of listening and writing us an angry email later. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, we're going to get to know John as a person.
Can we call him John?
Sure. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, we're recording here at Luigi's Pizza Kitchen, located at 7531 39th Avenue. Cue the catchphrase, order those pizza pies, Tuesday through Sunday by calling 262-694-6565. Order online and check out their menu at luigispizzacitchen.com. They're open Tuesday through Sunday.
Make sure you find us on all the social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We also have a website, which is...
That is ktownconnects.com.
You got to hit that subscribe button and give us some reviews. We like the reviews.
Yeah, hit that.
We don't have one to read today. We should have had one ready, but we were too busy getting ready to talk to the mayor here.
Yeah, this is a big interview. Shoot us an email at ktownconnects@yahoo.com.
We also have a Patreon account.
Breaking news.
Yeah, if you got a couple bucks to spare, throw us a couple bucks at patreon.com/ktownconnects. That's all one word, no hyphens or anything.
And you know what else we have? We now have a web store. Get all your Ktown Connects merchandise courtesy of the Letter Machine.
Is this going too far?
Hey, we're big.
I mean, the Patreon, the web store, it's kind of...
Hey, we're getting pretty big here. So if you want some Ktown Connects merchandise, go to thelettermachine.com. Check it out right now.
Are they going to have it set up by the time the show airs?
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh, all right. I might have to get myself something.
Yeah, I think so. A nice Ktown Connects mask.
You know where I went for dinner this weekend? Captain Mike's.
Ooh, tell me a little bit about your dinner at Captain
I got
Mike's.
the Mac of the week, which this week it was Italian sausage, red pepper, and onion.
Ooh, that sounds
mixed
fantastic.
in with the mac and cheese, and oh my gosh, I shouldn't have eaten it all, but I did.
Hey,
it was so awesome.
They're that good there. Did you know they also expanded their craft gin selection?
I did not get any craft gin. I was just there for carryout. But
hey, Jason, gin is in, so get down to Captain Mike's.
They do great carryout service, and they also are open for seating too. But you can contact them at 262-764-8889. They're located at 5118 6th Avenue in beautiful downtown Kenosha.
Hey, we don't want to forget about our good friend Matt at Bluhorn Digital. And we also have a new sponsor here, the Downtowner Saloon, located at 707 56th Street. Go in there for all your Southwestern themed food.
They have delicious food there too.
Oh, so good.
I gotta try them next.
So many great places in Kenosha.
Okay, but we're not talking food. We're talking to the mayor.
Mayor, did we make you hungry there?
Absolutely.
So we're just going to get to know you as a person. So, Mayor, where did you grow up?
You're born and raised in Kenosha.
Born and raised in Kenosha.
What the neighborhoods? Where did you grow up?
Neighborhood, my basically Roosevelt neighborhood was where I grew up, my elementary, and then I moved to the Forest Park area. Lived there for
They had
a good
houses
part
there
of my
then?
life. I'm sorry?
They had houses there then?
Yes, they did. At least I think we did. And then basically, when I got married, moved over to by Tremper off of 83rd Street.
Okay. So you kind of hopped around a little bit around town?
So,
But always in Kenosha.
well, other than a couple of years in Madison when I was in school.
Oh, okay. Oh, you went to Parkside this time?
I did.
Okay.
I graduated from Parkside. I did, I believe, 2 years in Madison, though.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll jump ahead a little bit there, but let's get back to Little John here.
I like that.
Okay, when you were a little boy, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Cowboy.
Oh.
Cowboy, huh?
Absolutely.
What were some of your favorite shows? The Lone Ranger, stuff like that?
Lone Ranger, Howdy Doody, all the old ones, I'm afraid. Most people probably don't even remember most of those.
Yeah. Well, they have the MeTV now, so a lot of people are getting that now.
The Rifleman. There was another one that was...
What was your most memorable Christmas or birthday present you got as a child?
Oh, that's a tough one. Christmas, all our Christmases were always great. It was just because there was so much family and everyone was over. We had, the house was just always packed with people.
Yeah.
So I don't know the presents really mattered that much. It was more in the sense of just it was a good time. It was just a time when you had a lot of people around and a lot of family around.
So no like Red Right or BB gun for you?
No.
Okay, all right.
So what schools did you attend?
Roosevelt, Forest Park, Lance, Tremper, Madison, and Parkside.
Lance Junior High School. I went there. Were they they were the Lance Angels at
Blue
the
Angels.
time, and now I believe they're the Lance Lightning.
Yeah, they're the Blue Angels.
Blue
I
Angels.
believe it
Okay.
was the Blue Angels.
Okay. All right. What kind of student were you? Troublemaker.
I was a very average student.
Okay. All right.
Who inspired you when you were a kid? I mean, maybe besides the Lone Ranger.
Oh, I think again, my father probably was a huge part of my of someone who inspired me as I was growing up. More him and my uncle, the two of them.
Okay.
What were some of your favorite hangout spots growing up in Kenosha? You've seen it all.
Oh my goodness, hangout spots. Is this the point I say I refuse to answer on the grounds that might incriminate me?
There's just so many, you can't pick any, right?
Well, I was always fortunate. I had a lot of good friends and a lot of places that we would go, and just like I said, just all over town. Loved to ride my bicycle over to the Washington Bowl to go swimming.
Oh, very nice.
That was always a fun place.
Did you have an old Schwinn?
I have no idea what I had. It was a hand-me-down. It was my, I think it was my cousin's bike that I inherited.
What was your first job?
Maxwell's Camera Shop.
Where was that at?
That was downtown, right off of 54th Street, I think it was.
Okay.
54th or 55th. 55th, actually.
Did you like working there?
I loved working
Yeah?
there. Mr. Maxwell was a wonderful man. It was an old camera shop, and he just was just a sweet gentleman who I truly enjoyed working for. I was just a janitor. Eventually, I learned about cameras and moved up into doing some sales in those days. But just a wonderful, wonderful person, wonderful family.
Did you get into photography then?
I did a little photography in those days. Actually, used to have a dark room, do some development for.
Very nice.
So I did learn a little bit about that. Like everything else, you learn things that you're good at and what you're not good at. And so it was a short-lived experience in photography.
What was the pay like then?
The pay?
$2 an hour?
Oh my goodness, I haven't a clue anymore. At the time, it looked pretty good.
Right. See?
So when you graduated high school, you were pretty much ready to go to college then? Were you prepared then, or were you like not sure?
No, I wasn't sure.
Okay. What were your options then, or what were your aspirations?
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I actually thought about enlisting at the time. In the end, I made a decision to try college first.
Was this during Vietnam or just after?
Vietnam had just ended.
Okay.
So I decided to try college first, and I actually found that I was a much better student in college than I was in high school.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if the light finally clicked or something went on, but I definitely found college to be much more challenging and much more enjoyable from my perspective. And so I ended up getting a degree in economics and business management.
Ooh.
What were some of your favorite other classes at college?
History. I always loved history. And to this day, I probably, someday when I'm done with politics,
We're going to see you working at the History Center downtown?
No, what you might see me, though, is going back to school just to go back to history courses and get to history courses.
I kind of fell into that as well. I was going for an art degree and fell into a history degree as well. Just from taking a few classes and falling in love with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fascinating, it truly is fascinating, and I just enjoyed it a great deal.
And Kenosha has such a rich history to really dive deep into. I mean, we had Chris Allen on the show, and we could have went on for hours talking about the history of Kenosha.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
So while you were attending Parkside, what did you do for fun?
I mined for gold.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, it sounds strange.
Well, yeah, serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I am serious.
Oh, I thought that was like, I can't talk about those crazy days.
No, I spent 4 summers out working in Northern California on a placer claim, which is I worked a river. So I was working the North Fork of the American River, which is basically, everyone has heard of Donner Pass. Mm-hmm. You get halfway through Donner Pass, there's a ghost town called Alta, and you take a left at Alta and go straight down 2.5 miles, and I was working a river, and I used to work 15 to 30 feet underwater.
Wow.
Whoa. How many people were in your team that did this?
2.
Oh.
My brother and I.
Oh. Wow.
So it was a wonderful time. I had a lot of fun.
So
wow, I didn't expect that. That's pretty awesome. So did you find a lot of gold?
I'm mayor of the city of Kenosha. No.
True, good point.
How did you fall into this job?
Literally, no. We didn't find a lot of gold, but we had a wonderful time looking. And you have to remember, gold was pretty inexpensive back in the day when I was searching for gold. My grandfather, when he came to this country, initially was hooked up with 3 or 4 other gentlemen, and they owned a coal mine in northern Kentucky.
Wow.
They did well. They sold the coal mine, and they bought a gold mine in California.
Oh. Okay.
They hit it big in California. However, this is where the story always gets interesting because you don't know what's accurate or not anymore. This is family lore here a little bit. Did they really hit it big or not? I couldn't tell you for sure, but the story goes that they hit it big and then the bankers stole the mine.
Oh.
So my grandfather came back to Kenosha, pretty much starting over.
Okay. Wow.
So my brother went out trying to find the gold mine. And so the first time he went by himself, second time I went with him.
So were you allowed to go on this property, or?
We never found the mine. Everything the paperwork was all really iffy and sketchy, and who knows for sure where it was. We went looking for it, couldn't find it, and so we ended up doing our own claim in Northern California on the North Fork of the American River, and we worked that for 4 years.
Wow.
5 years, something like that.
It was just like your summer job, huh? Every summer? Wow. So you actually traveled west searching for gold.
You drove a 1954 Willys Jeep. Initially had an old F-head engine in it, which we kept on blowing. So I got very good at rewiring a 54 Willys F-head engine. But we eventually got tired of that. And so one year my brother, who was very good mechanically, and I just helped, pulled the old F-head engine and dropped a Buick V6 into the Willys. And the problem is that the steering column was too large, so we had to shorten the steering. To this day, I'm not totally sure what we did to that thing. But we dropped a Buick V6 into a 1954 Willys Jeep, and that puppy flew.
Wow.
So you attended Parkside. Were there other options for college for you besides Parkside? Or you just want to stay close to home? Why did you choose Parkside?
Parkside and Madison were the 2 that I ended up going to. And in the end, Parkside is where I got my degree, which I appreciate. They had a good experience at Parkside. I'm very proud to be a Parkside grad.
So what's the timeline there? You went to Madison first, then came to Parkside, or?
Parkside first, then Madison came back to Parkside.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, interesting. So you graduated from Parkside in 1977 with a bachelor's in economics and business. Mm-hmm. What were your plans at the time for a career when you graduated college?
Actually, it's interesting. I'm not sure I knew at the time. I ended up working and getting a job for Walgreens Corporation as an assistant manager.
Like at a Walgreens?
Yeah, at a Walgreens.
Which one?
Kenosha.
Which one?
Yeah, basically 80th Street was my main home one. I spent a little time in Racine, but Kenosha was the store I ended up at.
Okay.
And so it was wonderful experiences, a lot of really good people that you got to meet. So I enjoyed that a great deal. Had looked outside the area, had actually a couple of potential opportunities outside the area, one in Sunnyvale, California, and one in New York.
Oh.
One in Sunnyvale, didn't quite get the job. I had a wonderful interview, though, with the gentleman who did the interview with Lockheed way back. And then the other one was in New York, which I had an opportunity and I decided not to take it.
Things would have been so different.
You never know what life is going to throw you.
So you served 10 years in the Wisconsin State Assembly.
Yes.
What exactly did that position entitle?
Is that a full-time job?
It is a full-time job because it's hard to do any other kind of job with that position. It was a wonderful experience and one that helped me a great deal eventually when I became mayor, because it created a situation where I learned a great deal about state government, how state government functioned, how the relationship between state government and local government works, funding sources, just all sorts of different things that were very, very helpful to me when I became mayor. And a lot of relationships. I think sometimes people forget government really is tied to relationships. It's getting to know people from both sides of the aisle. And something that I'm afraid has been lost at the present time, which is one of the big issues and concerns I have, is that I was always able to go to Republican friends and talk with them about what I needed to do for the city, and they'd listen. And it doesn't mean they always agree with me, and nor would they always give me the vote that I wanted. But you always had access. You always had people that were willing to listen to what the problem was and talk. And I would say that from both sides, not just the Democrats, but Republicans, both ends. It was a much easier time in government where you could actually talk with people and people would listen. I think that's what we're hurting right now, is that we don't really listen to each other very much. And I think that's part of the reason where we're at today.
I agree with you 100% on that.
See, now we got serious here. Sorry about that. I know this is supposed to be light.
No, that's fine.
It's
good. According to Wikipedia, you served 2 years with the 23rd district and 8 years with the 65th district. Is that true? And how can you explain that switch?
They changed the numbers.
That's all. So you didn't change anything. I kind of thought that might have been it, because
it was the districts got redistricted, and at the time when they did the redistricting, they changed the numbers.
Oh,
so
what's strange is changed from 23 to 65 instead of
like 23 to 24.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that was even my number at the time.
It sounds better. You went from 23 to 65. You're doing something right.
That's going down.
I got a lot older. Right. Thank you very much.
So where did you meet your wife, Linda? Let's get into that a little bit.
I met Linda at a church dance in Racine that I shouldn't say this, but that
no, that's what we want.
It wasn't my church in the sense of where I was raised. But I went with a cousin of mine wanted to go to this dance, and so he dragged me along, and so I met my wife there.
Oh. How old were you then?
25, 24, 25.
We
were married when I was 27.
What was your pickup line? Do you remember?
No clue. I was scared stiff. She was gorgeous.
All right, so you're the father of 2 kids. What are some of your fondest memories with them when they were growing up?
Oh, I've got 2 really interesting independent kids. And I think probably for me, I think I've enjoyed them as they've gotten older more and more than when they were smaller. I mean, both of them are just, let's just say they have a touch of my...
charm?
No.
Wisdom?
Thank you very much. That's not the word either. Willing to be a little exploring. Let's use that term.
Oh.
When I used to mine for gold, I always joke that I told my kids too many stories when they were growing up about what I did. And so the 2 of them seem to have the adventure bug themselves and have done an awful lot of things that has helped turn my hair gray.
Have they wanted to dabble in politics at all? Or?
No, neither one has any interest in politics.
You said, stay away from that.
Neither one had any interest at all in politics. My daughter lives in Japan.
Oh.
Wow.
And she teaches English, and she does translations for companies and some modeling. And my son is an artist.
Oh, very nice.
So both of them picked their own area that they wish to go into, and they did it. So
how often do you go visit her in Japan?
Well, we visited her a number of times earlier on, but that's not something we can do now.
Right.
She comes home every Christmas, so we see her every Christmas, and thank goodness for Skype.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Those things really are great. The one part of technology that I do love is that aspect of technology.
Yeah. So, 1992. What
Well,
inspired
you?
you?
Go back.
What inspired you to take that step and take on Mayor Moran for the position?
Mayor Moran wasn't there at the time. It was an open seat. He had left 6 months prior to his term ending. So it was an open seat in 92. And I had spent 10 years in the legislature, and I wanted to come home. And it was an opportunity for me to actually do something very, I had enjoyed being a legislator. But as a legislator, you can only do so much. You don't get to see the nuts and bolts of something getting done that you can actually see happen. You pass legislation, you do things that you hopefully are the things that are right for the state and your community. But if you want to get into the nitty-gritty to make change, it really is local government. And so that's what I wanted to do, and that's why I ran.
So what are some of your fondest memories of that very first campaign?
Oh, I'm not one of those people who believe that fond memories of campaigns. I think probably the piece that I enjoyed the most has always been being able to go out and talk to people. I think that is probably one of my strengths in what I've done, and that is that I can talk to almost anybody.
You're talking to the Ktown Connects podcast.
Yeah, man, that's been tough. Let me tell you, I'm not too sure this was a smart move on my part. But it's like everything else. That's something I've enjoyed doing. I enjoy talking with people. And I like to try to get across where we're going and what we're doing. So from that perspective, I've enjoyed that the most. And in campaigning, I think that's what I enjoy the most.
Okay, when you were elected, were there any aspects of becoming a mayor that you were surprised to find out about that you might not have expected?
Oh, I think anyone who runs for mayor is in for a huge surprise.
Yeah.
It is not what you think it is. And I think one of the things that when I look back at it, the piece that I think that has been so helpful for me is looking at it in the sense of having a vision of what you want to see your community become. That becomes so important. So whoever runs for mayor, they need to have an idea of what they wish to see happen in their community, what they want to see, what the community should become. And I think that plays a key part in whether you're successful or not.
So you were elected 4 straight terms.
Yes.
So you served for mayor from 92 to 2008. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced during that time?
Oh my goodness, we were going through Chrysler had closed in 88, the Brass had closed in, what was it? I can't remember the year anymore. McWhite's Steel Rope closed. We went through a lot of economic downturn during that period of time. So the biggest challenge we had was how to reinvent ourselves and what we needed to do that.
Yeah,
so
kind of reinvent the whole city.
Well, in a sense, and that's where, from my perspective, I was very fortunate. There were a lot of good people that stepped up. When we came up with ideas, people came forward. We wanted to do industrial parks. We were able to cut a deal with Wisconsin Energy. Even though they were doing their WIS Park in Pleasant Prairie, they cut a deal with us for the smaller parks, targeting more smaller companies in the city of Kenosha. So we were able to work with partners and get things done. So I think from that perspective, we reinvented ourselves in a lot of different ways. We did Harbor Park. We put museums in place. We did not just deal with the economics, because economics are we need to make sure we have jobs for people. But the other part of that is if you're going to get companies to come here, there has to be a quality of life.
Yep.
If you want young people to stay here, there has to be a quality of life. And that's one of the issues we're fighting with now is we're reinventing ourselves again. That's one of the reasons you're seeing the work that we're doing at the Chrysler site. That's why you're seeing the uptown, downtown projects. Those things are basically for us to reinvent ourselves for the third and fourth time as we moved along. So we've gone through stages. We started the recovery. We started doing things differently and getting smaller companies into the area. We've went into much larger businesses in the warehousing area. Now we're back into the next phase of R&D, research, technology, old manufacturing. When I say old manufacturing, I'm talking about manufacturing that creates good paying jobs type of things. You need to have a whole list of things to do if you want to succeed. And so we have done different things at different times, and now we're at that next stage.
Yep. So why didn't you run in 2008? You just were
I was tired. I was
to...
tired. First off, sometimes you just need other people need to come in and look at what you're doing and change what you're doing. There's no right that everything I was doing was in the right direction. There are things that, in hindsight, I can look back and say I wish I had done differently or done this, whatever. But those things do happen, and sometimes you reach a point. And I was literally 26 years in government in a row. And I reached that point of saying, you know what, time for me to walk away.
Yeah, spend some quality family time.
Right.
Do you for a little bit.
And so, and it was a very exciting time for me when I walked away because I started over. And that was very interesting for me as to what I then did and the work that I was able to accomplish while I was away.
You started a consulting business?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did work for companies, businesses, government, and eventually EPA, and working on helping to, how do you get a brownfield redeveloped? Because that's literally what I became an expert in.
What would be a brownfield?
A brownfield would be the old Chrysler site at the lakefront, Harbor Park. Harbor Park was a massive, when I was elected in 92, the Chrysler facility that had been there had been torn down and a fence built around it. So it was all rubble and a fence. That's what Harbor Park looked like at the time.
I remember that. I lived down there for that.
So what we did is we started working, and again, that goes back to you got to pull the community in, getting the community involved and working with people to eventually get to a point where we could develop Harbor Park. And the city did that. We took risk. We put some, in those days, it's probably was a huge amount of money. Today, probably is not anywhere near as what it looked like.
Right.
Is that, we invested $24 million in downtown Kenosha for Harbor Park to happen. And we were able to make it work. And so it has been extremely successful financially and in general with the reuse of the downtown and getting the downtown back and moving in the right direction. Didn't solve the problem totally. Still not enough density downtown so that the smaller businesses can do better. But in time, we'll get there.
Can you do me a favor and make those condos in Harbor Park a litlittle cheaper so I can afford them? They're a lot of my price range. They're beautiful.
They were very affordable when I built them.
So Keith Bosman took over. He did 2 terms. What was the best advice you gave him when he took over?
Well, you know what? The one thing I've learned in this whole thing is I just told Keith, if there's anything I can do to be helpful, let me know.
Yeah.
Because you have to let people do their own thing as to what's going on. And Keith is a really good guy, and I like him a great deal. And so my advice to him was, if you wanted some help, let me know. And I did give some help when it came down to the Chrysler site when they were trying to redevelop it as to the cleanup. And so they did involve me in that, and I was glad to do it.
All right, so why did you decide to make an attempt to retake the mayor position in 2016?
There's some things that I felt very strongly about that I felt that we needed to be doing. I've always been really big on neighborhoods and the redevelopment of neighborhoods and making sure that the neighborhoods prospered, because a community is only as strong as its weakest neighborhood. Yeah. You don't have a strong neighborhood, you've got problems. And it's an area that I've always felt strongly about. And the other issue was for me is we were losing our young people. They weren't staying here.
Yeah.
Many of them leave here. And part of that is not having the exact right mix of jobs. So we need to look at how we were doing things and things. So that was the reason for me coming back. That's one of the reasons we've been working on the Innovation Center at the Chrysler site. That's one of the reasons that we were looking at changing how we funded businesses that are coming into the area. We're much more selective on who we provide funds to, because we're looking to make sure that it's either manufacturing, we're looking to make sure we have more for R&D and
research and development, right? Okay.
And also for entrepreneurs. We have a lot of young people here who, and forgive me if anyone takes offense when I say young people, anyone under 60 is a young person. There we go. At my age, I've reached that point. So you're 60 or less, you're young.
Good, I'm still young. I'm still young.
But it's the opportunity of these folks becoming entrepreneurs, starting their own businesses. Sometimes we look at all the grand slams. Someone starts a business and becomes a billionaire for what they did. But there are a whole bunch of people who start businesses that are 25 people and good livings for those 25 people and themselves.
Yeah.
It's a matter of how we put things together and what we do. And so part of the innovation concept is how do we help people start their own businesses and to grow their own businesses. And so that's one of the things that I feel strongly about. And to do that means I have to keep my young people here. And that means we need to change how we do things. And that's why, the Innovation Center is kind of a takeoff of a project in St. Louis. And I do chuckle at that because someone had told me I was going to copy St. Louis into something. It wouldn't have been my normal choice. But they went through some really interesting in creating their innovation center down there. And it's over 200 acres in size now. It's unbelievably successful. And in a lot of ways, St. Louis has a lot of comparisons to Kenosha when it comes to an old industrial city that is redeveloping itself. So at least in that piece of it, it made sense. And so that's kind of what we copied. And so that's what we're working off of.
Yeah, we might not have a 200-acre size. We can get something.
I have 110.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back.
And we're back to Ktown Connects podcast. Hey, how about those sponsors?
Oh, those great sponsors of the Ktown Connects podcast. Give a little shout out to Union Park Tavern.
4520 8th Avenue.
Holy cow, do they have great food, great drinks, and you know what? The best Friday fish fry. And they have some great live entertainment almost every day of the week. So stop by, say hi to Angie and Ben. Tell them the Ktown Connect sent you.
And then swing over to Lucci's Grandview at 6929 at 39th Avenue. Mr. Mayor, do you know why Lucci's Grandview is called Grandview?
No, actually I don't.
Yeah. I've learned this. This is interesting. 39th Avenue used to be called Grandview Drive. Back, before the 20s, before they changed the names.
Back in my day?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
we had Sarah Lucci on the show. We tried to ask her, and she said it was like the subdivision name. So I did a little more research and digging around. I found that's actually the name of the road. So,
now, what's the name of 60th Street?
Is that Park? Mm-hmm. Is it Park? Which ones?
I think 60th was Plank.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Hey guys, this is Jason coming in with a little fact check here. According to sites.rootsweb.com, 60th Street was known by two names, English Court and Prairie Avenue. I assume maybe one was on one side of Library Park, one was on the other side maybe. But just want to come in and give you that fact. Back to the show. Yeah, I don't know them all, but
don't hold me down. I'm not sure I'm right.
You guys should go have a beer and talk it over at Lucci's Grandview, located at 6929 39th Avenue.
And the trivia is going to be street names, too. So.
Oh.
So, Mr. Mayor, I never see you wearing a sash. What's the deal with that?
Why would I?
A mayor sash.
Again, why would I?
I mean, all the cartoons growing up, I always see him wearing a sash.
No, sorry, not a sash guy.
All right.
I have enough trouble with a sport coat and tie.
So we were talking a little bit about some of the development projects coming in. We have tons of plans out there people can read about downtown and uptown to get the actual details. It's very extensive and elaborate. Do you have an estimated timeline on when some of these projects will begin?
Oh, I wish I believe the downtown plan will start this year.
Okay.
So
what are they starting with?
The first two buildings under the plan are the Brindisi, which is the first housing project, and a new city hall. So those are the first two that they're required to build.
The Brindisi will be just north of where City Hall is right now.
That is correct.
And City Hall will be located where the...
City Hall will be put back over where it belongs, not too far from its original home. Mm-hmm. It'll be where the old police station is on Sheridan and 56th Street, across from the courthouse and across from the post office. So we try to bring all of government back together in one location.
Yeah, that's a
so that when
obvious spot for it.
Right. Well, when people stop, I mean, if they have something at the courthouse or the city hall, a lot of times people get
skip away.
Right. Sometimes people mix up where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so they're at the city hall and they're supposed to have a court hearing or something at the courthouse or whatever. So putting it all back together makes more sense.
Oh, for sure.
And keeping government together for the public is, I think, the right thing to do.
That old police station, Jason and I went in there when Visit Kenosha moved out, and we checked out.
Oh, I thought you said you were in there for other reasons, but that's all right. I'm not going to go there.
And we checked out the old jail cells.
Jail cells.
Yeah,
it's pretty creepy in there.
Oh, that's real creepy.
It was something.
Yeah,
cool. We're like, hey, get a picture, act like I'm locked in here. I'm like, well, don't shut the door. Nobody has a key to this, And
you're right. I don't think anyone has a key to that.
It was pretty fascinating though, looking up there. And
it's unbelievable how small. I mean,
couldn't handle that nowadays.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And easy.
All right, so let's get a little deep here. So in the response to the civil unrest, you had 4 community listening sessions. What were some of the most valuable things that you took from those meetings?
I think that the part of the listening sessions is for people to be able to have access to telling me what they thought and at an emotional time. And so I thought it was important that I sit there and be there to listen to what people had to say. I think from a aspect of the most important part of what came from those hearings that I learned I think, dealt with the mental health issue. And mental health to me, is one of those areas that we've always been very lax on as a country and as a state. And I think that mental health is one of the big issues that we need to address on a long-term basis. And is one of the things we are also looking at as to how we can embed some things in the police department dealing with mental health at the same time, because I think it's important.
Yeah, then with these listening sessions, the city finally got some social media presence. You guys have Facebook,
yes, we
Instagram.
did.
So it's,
well, a little bit, not totally,
right,
but yes.
but it's there. So now there's a way for people to reach out, see what's going on with the city that way. I thought that was great that you guys decided to get on that bandwagon. So that's where I watched a few of them.
Okay.
So in January, in anticipation of the Jacob Blake investigation decision, you're granted emergency powers.
Yes.
Those are powerful words. Can you explain to our listeners what emergency powers would mean for you?
Well, an example would be if I want to close a road off.
Okay.
I have to have emergency powers to close a road. So if I want to create a curfew, I need to have emergency powers. And this is different a little bit than what normally happens, because normally if something occurs, I have the ability just to call an emergency. So I can do that. I don't have to go to council for that. But once I do that, I then have a period of time which I have to pull council together for the council then to give me the authority. But I can deal with an emergency. So an example would be, in this case, because the district attorney was going to inform us ahead of time of when he was going to make his decision, and that's make it very clear, the city had no knowledge of the decision itself. All we were told is on this date the decision is going to come out. Because the city knew that, I can't call an emergency because I know ahead of time what's going on. There's no emergency that's occurred.
Yeah.
So you had to go to council for the council to set it up so that I could call the emergency, because I had knowledge of the timing of when something might happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, we're going to take one more quick break, and we'll be right back with some quick connects and some trivia with Mayor John Antaramian. And we're back with more with Ktown Connects with Mayor John Antaramian. That last commercial break was brought to you by the Pine Blossom, located at 5925 6th Avenue.
If you're looking for some local art, stylish clothing, gifts, home decor, homemade jewelry, or some upcycle furniture, go say hi to Cheryl and Gary at the Pine Blossom.
Also, big thanks to the Letter Machine, 720 50th Street. They are helping host our web store, which we have to find out what that is.
Yeah, you can just go to thelettermachine.com and you can find our Ktown Connects merchandise store. Thank you to the Lettering Machine.
All right. And now it's time for Quick Connects with the Mayor. And that's brought to you by Washed Out, a locally owned hair product. From the suit and tie businessman to the motorhead and leather jacket rocker, Washed Out is loved by barbers, fashion fans, and those seeking the best hair products at an affordable price. That was good. Did you write this, Donny?
I did.
Good job. Order yours today by going to washedouthairuss.bigcartel.com.
Go order those products. They got a nice pomade. You need a nice pomade.
I do.
Yeah, order that up. So, Mayor, are you ready?
I'm worried about the two of you.
All right, Mayor, your favorite park in Kenosha?
Simmons Island.
That's mine, too.
What
is your favorite famous Kenoshan?
My most famous Kenosha.
Your favorite famous Kenoshan.
My favorite. Oh my goodness! And I'm doing this on terrible. Molinaro from Happy Days. Al Molinaro. He was such a character. I just loved him.
Which show was that we did the Al Molinaro trivia?
Chris Allen. We drilled Chris Allen from the.
We had Al Molinaro trivia with Chris Allen. It was fun.
Whenever he would come back into town, he'd stop by.
Oh, yeah. For tasting more, it's encore. All right, what are you currently reading?
Actually, more than anything, it's paperwork. However, the last book that I reread, because it's my favorite book, is The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, very nice. All right, what 2021 Kenosha summer event are you looking forward to attending?
21. 22, I'm looking forward to hopefully doing the Tall Ships again. But in 21, just to be out and people enjoying the weather and the sun, and that we are past this COVID issue.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Anything will be fun, right?
We know we really want that peanut butter and jam to happen.
We're always peanut butter and jam was a wonderful project that we started many years ago.
Yeah, you teamed up with Frank Carmichael,
Yep.
and you guys have been riding the wave of
That
success.
and, the old the kite flight,
Oh yes,
which is really I love that with watching the kids.
Yeah.
When those little kids are just sitting with those kites and starting to run, and it's great.
Awesome.
All right, favorite pizza place in Kenosha.
I refuse to answer on the grounds it might incriminate me.
All right, you're going on a day trip. You're going to Milwaukee or Chicago?
A day trip, Milwaukee. Weekend or something longer, Chicago.
Yeah, I always go day trip Milwaukee as well. You go to the public market
Right.
there. I mean, it's great there.
Third Ward is really neat.
Yeah, a half-hour drive. Boom, there
Yeah.
you're there. All right, if you could bring back one Kenosha business that is closed, which would it be?
Oh my goodness.
Fur by us. That's what everybody says.
No. I think probably the one, when the auto industry left, that is probably one of those things that hurt more people than anything else. So it would have been wonderful to be able to still have those jobs and those people employed.
That's a good politician
That
answer.
was a great mayor answer. I like it. All right, favorite movie of all time.
Ben-Hur.
Ooh.
So we heard you're a Packer fan,
Yes, I am.
and when this episode airs, it's going to be Super Bowl weekend. Are the Packers in the Super Bowl this weekend?
Yes.
All right.
That's what I like to hear.
Beatles or the Stones?
Oh, Stones.
Oh.
Sorry.
See, I thought you were a Beatles guy. I really did.
Stones. Stones and Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh.
right.
Ooh. Favorite candy bar. I heard from a source. I think I might know yours.
Almond Joy.
Oh, see, I was told. Well, it's not a candy bar, but peanut M&Ms.
Well, I love peanut M&Ms. It's
He
not
was
a
gonna-
candy bar.
He was going to buy you some and bring it in.
I
I'm
was.
like, don't buy him
Mike
any
Higgins
M&Ms.
told me to bring you some peanut
Yeah.
M&Ms. All right, Big Star or the Spot.
Spot.
There you go.
Oh.
You got any good mayor jokes for us?
None.
Ah, all right. Well, that was the Quick Connects brought to you by Washed Out Hair Products. And what's up next?
What's up next, Donnie?
Ooh, trivia is up next.
Oh,
Mayor,
I'm
are you
bad.
ready for some trivia?
I'm as ready as I'm going to be, and I probably won't have any answers.
Well, the trivia is brought to everybody by Coming Up Roses Cleaning and Organizing. They are a fully insured cleaning and organizing company. They will keep your home or office clean without judgment or hassle. No job is too big or too small for them, so support this locally owned business. Coming Up Roses Cleaning and Organizing. Give them a call at 262-748-6978 or email them at cominguprosescleaningkino@gmail.com.
Very good.
Oh, I've been doing that one for about 27 episodes, so I should have that one down.
Yeah, you're getting good. All right, so each
Can you do that fast 3 times?
I can really nail that. Luigi's Pizza Kitchen. Order your pizza pies.
Yeah, that's getting old. All right, so it's time for trivia where we pit our guest against our co-host Donnie.
Okay, if anyone's making bets, bet on Donnie.
Don't worry, I've only won 2 out of 27.
You're about to get
episodes.
3.
Oh, I can't. Oh, and then you're going to see me downtown. I beat the mayor in trivia. Ooh, yeah, this is going to be some good bragging rights.
Well, Mayor, we heard that one of your favorite TV shows is MASH.
Yes, it was.
So we have MASH trivia, but Donnie's also familiar with MASH as well.
Yes, my grandma Higgins got me into it many years ago.
So this is going to be a good one. I pulled these questions from How Stuff Works, the MASH trivia there. So hopefully you guys haven't been to that website. I'm going to ask you each 5 questions, and we'll see who can win here.
Perfect.
So, Mayor, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
In what year did the MASH TV show debut?
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to take a wild guess because I have no clue. 72?
That's right.
Whoa!
He's got it.
Wow.
1972. Up 1-0. Donnie, true or false? MASH had a laugh track.
True.
You are correct.
Oh, yeah.
True. And although it was toned down compared to other shows of the day.
Serious manner sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
tied up. 1-1. Doom, doom, doom. Yeah,
I
it wasn't.
surrender.
Question 2, Mayor. When Hawkeye's best friend Trapper leaves the show, which character replaces him?
Oh, my goodness. Trapper left, and it was... God, I can see him, and I can't think of his name.
Ooh, I know this one. You want me to give you a little hint, Mayor?
No, we're doing this. This is a fair...
All right.
Trapper. Got me. I can't think of it.
Captain B.J. Honeycutt.
Honeycutt.
I liked him.
Shame on me.
I liked VJ better than Trapper, to be honest.
All right, Donnie, this is a tough one.
Okay.
Which actor on the show actually wore his real-life dog tags from when he served in Korea?
Klinger.
Wow.
Whoa, that was a guess. That was a guess.
Wow, that was a good guess because you are right.
Wow, okay. Hey.
Donnie takes the lead. It's 2-1.
Wow.
All right, Mayor John.
I knew that one.
Question number 3. Who was the very first commanding officer?
Henry Blake.
Ding, ding, ding. That's right. Ties it up. Donnie, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Several episodes are framed as letters Hawkeye writes home. To whom is he writing?
His dad.
You're right. Donnie's 3-2. Mayor, question 4. What was Frank Burns' nickname?
Oh,
my goodness.
I don't even know. I know it, but I can't.
Frank Burns. What'd they call him? Well,
It's not coming. I'm not going to hold this up.
Ferret face.
Ferret face.
Ah.
As soon as you started the
Donnie, you got to lose this one. 4.
The fix is in here, guys.
4 characters stayed on the show for the entire 11-year run. Name 3 of them.
Hawkeye,
Yes.
Hot Lips,
Yes.
and Klinger.
Yes.
Hi, who was the 4th?
Father McLeod.
Oh,
Katie.
that's right. That's right.
Wow.
Why do you give him the easy ones?
All right, Mayor. Here's a softball here for you.
Oh, no, I'm in trouble. I warned you, I'm horrible at this stuff.
What does MASH stand for?
Oh, my goodness. Medical. Now, let's see. You got me. Go ahead.
Oh, Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
That's right.
Donnie, let's see if you can be on.
See if you can crush me now, Donny.
Yeah.
On the series finale, the war is over and most of the characters are preparing to leave Korea. Which character says they plan to stay?
Oh, this is so easy. Klinger, because he's getting married.
Oh, okay.
See, even I knew that one.
Wow, Donnie.
Well, what can I say? I know my MASH.
Well, the mayor's not coming back.
I don't feel bad. I warned you at the beginning. This is not my...
I'll have to thank my grandmother Higgins for getting me into MASH all these years. Thank you.
Donnie, 5 correct answers.
Well, what can I say?
I had 2.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, you still win a bottle of Lou Perini's water.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, that was real fun. Thank you for stopping by, Mayor. We really appreciate you coming by the Ktown Connects podcast. Want to thank our sponsors one more time: Luigi's Pizza Kitchen, Bluhorn Digital, Captain Mike's, the Downtowner Saloon, Union Park Tavern, Lucci's Grandview,
The Lettering Machine, Pine Blossom, Coming Up Roses Cleaning and Organizing, and Washed Out Hair Products. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, that's what we got. Hey, we're season 2. We're getting bigger and better.
Yes, man.
So don't forget to find the Ktown Connects podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go to our website, ktownconnects.com.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a review on your podcast provider.
Shoot us an email. Tell us how we did or how horrible we did at ktownconnects@yahoo.com. Hey, don't forget, we're also have a Patreon account now.
Yeah, we're going to start putting some exclusive material on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're not going to have any from this show. We're short on time already. So, but we'll have some stuff in the future shows. So extra bonus content.
People can show their support to us through
Patreon.com/Ktown Connects.
And also, don't forget about that awesome Ktown Connects web store, courtesy of the Lettering Machine. Go to theletteringmachine.com and get your Ktown Connects t-shirts.
All right.
Hey, Jason, that was a pretty great episode. It's good to be back for season 2. We got a lot of good stuff planned for season 2. So everybody stay tuned. And I'm still trying to figure out, after so many episodes, what are we doing with this podcast?
Let's see. You wrote down, our goal is to connect Kenosha and surrounding areas to all the great things our hometown of Kenosha has to offer.
Sounds about right, but let's cut that down. We are connecting Kenosha.
Hey, bye.
I'm from Kenosha, I say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. I'm from Kenosha, I say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. Well, I'm the East, the beautiful West, that's the right place to be from.
we're back with the Ktown Connects podcast.
Bring it back if not so loud.
We took a few weeks off. We're a little rusty. Well, we're back with the Ktown Connects podcast. We are here with the...
That's too soft.
You bring us in.